Sports, your premier channel for sports news from guys that work the 9 to 5. They can give you information like they're working 5 to 5, 24 hours a day. And this is Mikey B hitting up, talking about the Dallas Mavericks out west. You know, Cuban has the billions, and he made use of that money real well this summertime in the moves that they made. Great moves. We're going to talk about it, the X's and O's. People were kind of sleeping on them, possibly thinking they had another year or two before they established themselves as strong contenders in the West. But with the depleted injuries that we've seen for Klay Thompson, DeMarcus Cousins, even though he's not going to be that big of a factor now that Dwight Howard's come on for the Lakers, we gotta take a peek at what this means for the Dallas Mavericks and their opportunity. I want to get into the X's, but first I'm gonna do something a little different. Let's go back and look, what did they do freaking last year? Dallas Mavericks were number 21 overall from a points per game perspective. Total points for the year, 89-27. Let's look at the areas where they were damaging it. I'm trying to look at percentages wise. So we look at 3-point percentage. Did they need any help there? Dallas, of course they did. They were 27th in 3-point percentages for the year. That's pretty low, and they were shooting at a 34% clip. Free throws, they needed help there maybe. Let's go ahead and look. Dallas, where are they at? Bottom again, number 2015. Again, remember, it was just Luka Magic by himself. So let's continue. Rebounding, where'd they finish there? Dallas Mavericks. Thank God they're not the bottom there, but number 16. If you're over 15 in anything, you got problems and you need to improve. Assists. See where I'm getting at here? Dallas Mavericks, assist-wise, even with Luka Magic, total of 19-18. They could improve there as well. Key factors that no one talks about, but I like to see is the steals and the rebounds. Steals and blocks. Let me step back real quick. Oh, my God. Steals. Jesus. 533, the number 29 team. I mean, they're sucking in every single category. I mean, what else could you want? Go down. Block shots. 26th. I guess you should have kept Nerlens Noel. Let's go forward and look at the squad this year and see how it's changed. From a preseason perspective, this team was out there nuts. I can even get there for you to show you. They look freaking great preseason-wise in the 19-20 season. Let's take a peek. Dallas Mavericks, where are they at? Don't tell me they're at the bottom. They were 5-2. 5-3, and they look good. And the reason why they look good, let's go back to Mr. Cuban spend billions. You know how he does it. They added in, my first X is Kristaps Porzingis. What an addition. They traded for him last year from the Knicks. It added a couple pieces with that who I think will be pivotal, because now they have Porzingis at full strength. Tim Hardaway Jr., a bona fide scorer, should be well acclimated to the system now and improve on the 3-point percentage. Who else did they get in that trade? If you look down the line, they did have Mr. Burks. He left. They added Courtney Lee, a solid scorer. I like him off the bench. A potential guy who probably won't get sixth man of the year because there's so many contenders, but is in the running, maybe in the top 15, 20 for off the bench scorers in his heyday. Now, other pieces that they've added, but I got to get to the next X, is obviously you're seeing that Justin Jackson face from Sacramento. They made that move last year. Justin Jackson comes over. Again, you saw the 3-point shooting in a league where you need to shoot threes. That was used to get Justin Jackson. Let's see how he plays out with this squad. Now, the other X after Porzingis, because if he's not running, the engine is gone. They're going to have the same year they had last year. Luka Magic. Luka Doncic, big season last year. All the accolades and acclaims. He's proved everybody wrong. The Euro pick has finally come through, and he is probably going to be one of the more acclaimed Euro picks of the decade. Porzingis is another one that has come through. He's looking good in the summertime. Again, I mentioned this. His ACL injury will be different from a Zion Williamson ACL. He's 7'3". If he can keep 50% of his mobility, game over. He can shoot over everybody. Hence why I keep peeking at Denver and Bobo and saying, man, when he gets back, I wonder what he can do. Other additions, right? So we got the 2 X factors. You know I like him in threes. Who is the third prospect? I can't say they have one, okay? And that's the issue. There's not a third pairing that they have that they can rely on right now. It's a conglomerate. Tim Hardaway is a inconsistent, hits me in faces type of player. Don't know what I'll really get from Tim Hardaway Jr. However, they have improved in certain areas, and I want to tell you where. It's going to be internal improvement as well as being able to get some guys that can help out in certain ways. First of all, draft picking Isaiah Roby. Interesting pick. Had a strong showing in the camps, and that's probably what catapulted him up into a draft pick. Solid competitor. I think he's going to be a defensive maniac. That's going to be his role on this team. Improvement-wise, I expect Dwight Powell, an exciting, leaping, power forward center. He needs to be able to do more on the block side. He's going to get the minutes now. He's also improved his three-point shot. Hey, Dwight, somebody's watching you. I am. He is also going to be a key factor to their success. I expect him to up his averages by at least 15% for this year with time that he's getting. Now, to keep it on the outside, you think it was over. Maxi Kleber and Ryan Broekhoff, people don't know about these two, as well as adding Seth Curry from the Blazers. That was the other addition. These three are going to be key lights-out contributors from the three-point line. I haven't seen enough of Jalen Brunson to say that he'll really drastically improve them from a backup point guard perspective, and I'll get to his competition in a minute. But Ryan Broekhoff, Maxi Kleber, and Seth Curry, names that folks that are casuals probably haven't heard of, are going to be key contributors, and the meaning of that is they're going to have to give you 15-16 between the three per night in order for this team to be successful and make that playoff run. I'm going to say here right now before it gets to end and spoil it, I have the Mavericks finishing off this season in the playoffs with this team. Now, with the big insides, they said, remember you saw the stats, they suck at blocking. They added Big Boban. How many minutes can he play? Don't know, but he will disrupt. His 7'3" frame, they got 2 of them now. That's going to disrupt the line. So these two should play dividends with the leaping Dwight Powell. Who else is there? I call him Ron Artest, poor man's Ron Artest. Dorian Finney-Smith comes in from the defensive end. He's going to have to be the anchor. He's going to have to be the tough guy. This is the tough guy of the team. Finney-Smith is going to have to impose his will and be a strong factor, a key contributor to this team. He will play heavy minutes. They got enough scoring. They need some D. It's all going to be on Dorian. Sorry, it's all on him right now. There's really not much else he can rely on when I look at this team. He's going to be the anchor from a defensive perspective. If there's a realm for improvement, obviously, let's look to that. DeLon Wright grabs from Toronto Raptors. Interesting pickup there. They already had Jalen Brunson. I thought they would develop him. However, Wright is a player that came from a championship team, has a championship pedigree. He will push Jalen Brunson for minutes once he learns his system. Right now, it's Brunson's team because he knows the system. But Wright should push, and we shall see what happens. Will he become the backup point guard for the squad to help out Luka? I don't think Luka's a full-time point guard, even though he'll have the ball in his hands for most of the time. They return to old vets, right? J.J. Barea is still there. I guarantee he gets into some type of coaching role by the time his career is ended. Still a solid contributor. Still a control king. It won't hurt you. So I appreciate that. JJ's still there, still a solid backup. Think he can still pay dividends. Josh Reeves, I'm not too familiar with, so I can't talk on. However, I've kind of gone through the lineup, and you can see there's a hole at the 4 position. If there's anything they need, a package deal, to try to get maybe a Brown. I thought Brown from the Celtics would have been looked at as a possible Jaylen Brown as a trade bait. Maybe package 2 of these guys up, a Jackson and a Roby for a Brown. They need that third piece. I think they're going to have to add a young piece and develop him into the third piece. Obviously, they had it with, I think that, what's his name, from the Sacramento Kings, who went over in that trade for Justin Jackson, Harrison Barnes. I thought in spurts he could be a third guy. Never really lived up to his Warrior days, but has some good games with the Dallas Mavericks. However, if they can grab somebody of that ilk, Chris Middleton type level, then maybe we shall see. I don't think Justin Jackson is developed enough to be able to get there. I don't know. Isaiah Roby, I'm yet to see what he has to offer, and I can't brush him off, but I don't think he'll immediately pay dividends. Other than that, the Mavericks are going to rely on 2 key players. If any of these guys go down, forget about my prediction. I'm talking about this guy and this guy can't have any injuries. There's no games off for these guys. Limit them early and from minutes perspective, and then start bringing them on probably February, March, full bore to try to make that playoff push. It will be a tough push, but in the Southwest Division, as I look at it, let me get there. Houston Rockets probably will take the cake, but they have strong competition with the Mavericks. Pelicans, with Zion's injury, they're squeezing in. I think the Spurs may sneak in, but it's going to be a tough run. So it's a tough battle out there in the West. I'll go over who I have as the top teams to get in. Obviously, the Northwest is crazy, right? You got Denver and Portland, who I predict can make it to the championship. You got Oklahoma City Thunder, who people are brushing off. They're trying to rebuild, but I saw them in the preseason. I said they may have trouble because they don't look too bad. Anyhow, I think I'm jumping into the full review of where I think the Western Conference will lay. At this time, the Dallas Mavericks, I got them just sneaking in. You know, they're going to have to beat out. It's going to, the Jazz. Sacramento Kings, I think, is in the running again. I think they got worse, though, to be honest. And then it's going to be Spurs, Pelicans. I hate to put the Grizzlies there, but I don't know what I'll see, right? So 1, 2. So Nuggets, Blazers, Warriors, Clippers, Lakers, right? You got your 5, okay? Houston, 6. Then you got this 7-8 spot that's going to be really, really scary. Memphis, New Orleans, the Spurs, the Dallas Mavericks, and Utah Jazz will be fighting for that last spot. Who will take it? Again, I got the Dallas Mavericks just making it because I think they have more star potential. I think Luka and Mr. Kristaps are top 10, top 15 players in this league. And then when you got 2 top 15 players on your team, that overshadows anything you have on the Utah Jazz, even the Sacramento Kings, and even the Spurs, who have a big 2 in DeMar and LaMarcus Aldridge. Anyhow, Outwork Sports signing off, giving you what I think we'll see from the Dallas Mavericks. Keep spending, Cuban. I see you. Peace.